It's been fun. Playing the game I love, competing with my teammates, getting some warm weather, so it feels like traditional camp.
Bobby, when you see, even going back to the offseason when they're putting these pieces together and bringing in new guys on the defense, knowing what you had coming back, I know it's only 8 practices in camp, but is this coming together the way you had hoped, being in that middle of that defense from front to back?
100%. Great trust in our head coach in the front office, but we got a lot of dynamic pieces on our defense from the back end, the leadership and the communication, from the safeties, from the athletic ability, the ball skills of the corner position, and obviously just how dynamic and athletic our pass rush is up front. We're putting the building blocks together to be a very fearsome defense.
I think Dex said when he came out here on day one, the idea of they've talked about it in the pass rush meetings, but also you guys have talked about it as a group. You don't stop the run. None of that pass rush matters.
100%.
How does that come together? What are you focusing on? I know collectively, but what needs to happen for the run defense to come together?
Yeah, what we say is you got to earn the right to rush the passer, and that's being dominant on first and second down, creating TFLs, getting knocked back up front, playing downhill at the linebacker position. So, as we go through camp and go through these practices, and I feel like it's just building that continuity of the unit, where the safeties understand how the D line's fitting, the D line understands how the linebackers are fitting, and et cetera. So, we've been doing great work there. Obviously, the work's not done, but we've been very detailed throughout that process.
Any schematic changes to help the run defense?
Yeah, a little bit. We got some movement. Obviously, we got some new dynamic pieces up front that can, create some havoc and create some knockback. But I feel like it's just guys, understanding the details of their position, the details of their job. Shane is a, schematic mastermind. So I feel like as we're going through these practices and we're understanding his, philosophical mind of, how he wants guys to play defense and executing the techniques and fundamentals of each position, we're only getting better.
How's your back?
Great. Fantastic. Feel healthy. I'm very fortunate for, Ronnie, Aaron, coach, Dave's taking care of me, and, just working with the GPS load management stuff. But I feel great. I feel blessed. I'm playing the game I love.
Has anything stood out about Abdul now you've seen the past him on, just how he's moving, how he's reacting a little bit?
100%. His explosiveness and his instincts. As a rookie, it's not easy to be thrown out there at, different positions, whether you're lining up at 3 tech or at end or at inside linebacker, and he's executing well and he's executing with speed. So, I've been very encouraged by what he's done, very impressed, and, I'm excited for what he's going to bring to this unit.
Have you had like a wow moment with him? Like, it's unusual. A rookie's not supposed to do that.
I mean, I would say to the explosive and instincts, you put him at inside linebacker and he's not necessarily trepidatious or asking what to do. He's got that demeanor and mentality. He's going to make a play at whatever position you line him up at. So, he's just a dog football player, and I'm excited he's on my team.
What's Abdul like off the field? Like, is he quiet? Is he louder? Is he confident? Is he,
I would say he's a quiet, confident guy. I mean, as a rookie, I feel like, he's understanding that it's better to listen as opposed to talk. But, as I get to know him more, he's got a dominant personality, and it shows on the field.
There's been a lot of talk about the safeties with Javon came in as a leader and Tyler stepped into that role. How does that help you, in the middle of the defense?
It's big. I talk to those guys probably more than anybody on the field except, Mike or Moose. But, just kind of empowering those guys, to speak up in meetings, speak up on the field, because they've got the best vantage point on the field. And they're both such great leaders. Javon, being a former captain, being a veteran, and Nubin, just his personality and leadership he has at such a young age. Both those guys are, bolster the unit big time.
You've been around a while. I'm wondering, what do you think when people say, this should be one of the best pass rushers in the league?
What do I think about that?
Yeah.
I think it's a great challenge, and I know the mentality of those guys up front: Dex, Kayvon, Burns, Abdul. They don't want anything handed to them, and they talk about it every day. They say we're great on paper, but we haven't shown anything yet. So they're putting in the work, they're putting in the detail, and I'm excited for that product to show on game day.
Have you seen tangible evidence for you? You had 2 rookies last year in Nubin and Phillips that were a part of this defense, but you could see, they both admittedly said they were swimming a little bit, maybe Drew a little bit more than Tyler. Just curious what tangibly you've seen from the two of them and what kind of leap you could kind of expect for year two.
Yeah, big time. I mean, Drew is a freak athlete. So for him, he's got all Pro Bowl in his future. It's just, as he gets mentally more in tune with the game and understanding concepts and playing the game, playing ahead of the game, seeing those pre-snap indicators. I sit next to him in meetings every day, and I see the notes he's taking, the questions he's asking. So it's cool to see that maturation. And then Nubin, he's such a leader that just as time goes, he's gonna step into that role and get even more confident. So I feel like he's just learning from some of the pitfalls and mistakes of his rookie year, and going through practices. But he's a very sharp kid, and I'm very excited for him.
Bobby, does the turnover chest actually, and it's cool,
Yep.
it actually rally guys and inspire, like, obviously you didn't get a lot of takeaways last year.
Yep.
You guys are bringing that out. Is that gimmicky, or does that actually fire guys up?
No, it fires guys up. Whatever you can do to create more buy-in, I think is better. We're with each other, 18 hours of a day. Like we live, breathe, and die football. So, however you can get guys more involved, more juiced up to create a turnover to, affect the game, even better.
That's it.
What are you seeing, Bobby, from the offensive line? Like, it's a group that, I'm sorry if this was asked, I'm late over. Like, it's a group that's pretty much the same as last year.
Yep.
You're going against them, like, a lot rides on them. What are you seeing from them across the ball in these practices?
Yeah, physicality. I go against those guys every day, and I'm physical. I'm punching them. I'm hitting the running backs, and they're throwing it back in my face. So it's fun, and they're the engine of our offense. Honestly, you see the way Malik catches the ball, Wandale's catch the ball, and they're running 10 yards, 15 downfield to go rally with their teammates. They're building that mentality and demeanor.